So shout out to AK, the producer, man. Me and him have a collective. It's called the Black Smoke Collective. It consists of me and him. So we've been working together a lot, like over the past year and a half. He's grinding, man. And so he sent me that beat. And then when I heard it, I just started writing to it, and it just came to me, right? This imagery came to me of like being out in the street and like things that I see going on in the street around me, like in Kansas City. I took myself back to high school and being in class, knowing that some of these kids that was in school with me, they did years in like behind bars for whatever, right? So I kind of took myself back to that time. And the song I started writing from the perspective of like just me in the tunnel zone. I'm seeing around what's happening in the street, right? And then Oddisee, it's very interesting because actually I've been like following Oddisee since like MySpace days, since like 06, 07. And I was just a fan of him, but I was hitting him up like back then or whatever. And I found out he's also comes from a Sudanese background, all of that. And so I sent him the record. We got to know each other over time. And he called me. And this is the thing. And he was like, we had this conversation where he was like, listen, I don't want like this record to go down the wrong path and put out the wrong, like, I don't want people to get the wrong perspective of what we're saying in this record. Because Oddisee, so his mom is Black American and his father is Sudanese, right? And he was in between DC and PG County, Maryland, which is one of the wealthiest Black neighborhoods in America. So even though we're both Sudanese Americans and we have similar stories, our stories are still unique. And that's what we wanted to put in the record. That's why we put his verse in the middle, where like my verse in the beginning was talking about seeing people, engaging in gang activity, this and that. And then Oddisee is talking about, well, it's different for me. I grew up, he said he didn't have an identity crisis when I was in America because my Black American family accepted me. When I went to visit Sudan, they accepted me for who I am. So like we wanted, and then my last verse was going back again to the streets and whatnot. So we sandwiched it in that way because we wanted to let people know that, listen, just because you come from a certain place, you don't have to fall in the same pits and it's not just one story. You create your own story. So basically I got enough records to like finish the whole year. And that's the thing with quarantine. I'm not doing nothing but creating, recording, right? And thank God I took my studio equipment with me to the UK because I would have been stuck at home, So I've been writing and recording. I got enough records basically like put a record out every month until the end of the year, so I'm all set with that in that aspect. But as far as a project goes, me and AK, the producer, wanted to like put out a Black Smoke Collective EP. And so that's something we're working on. Title, all that, I can't give all that away yet. It's still in the process, but we do have enough records to put out. So I'm excited about that. I literally got everything lined up. It's just a matter of putting it out. So I Am Because We Are comes from an African philosophy called Ubuntu, which literally means I am because we are, which is, it goes along with the it takes a village mentality, right? And so I made this project with the mindset that, like all of us as humans, right, as people, we're all connected in one way or another. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, we can be a little bit selfish or whatever, and even like with the idea of having borders, right? You can't travel unless you get permission from whoever. And it's kind of like keeping us in cages in a way, right? And if you want to jump from this cage and go to another cage, you got to get permission. You got to get your passport stamped. You got to get visas and all that. So it's like, I am because we are. We might be living in different parts of the world, but you know what? We're all kind of sharing similar struggles. And I feel like if we all connect as people and learn from each other, if I talk to you and learn about your struggles, and you talk to me and get to know my struggles and my history, we'll be able to understand each other a lot better. And a lot of the violence and all the unnecessary troubles will kind of calm down a little bit. They might not disappear, but at least we'll have an understanding of where it comes from, right? And the record for me, my favorite record on the project is Basement Nights, and that's a true story. And I love going back to a specific moment in time. Like I just love that. And Basement Nights is a true story. Like we used to go parties in this place called The Basement in Kansas City, and like my boys used to be DJing and all that, and then a lot like sometimes shootouts will happen or whatever, and you have to like duck and hide. And so I went back to like a specific night where something like that happened, and I wrote that story together, Basement Nights.